the mighty and resilient Merrimack River, carving through the communities of our great region. My name is Linda Lorden, proud president of Merrimack County Savings Bank, and like the river that serves as our namesake, we're a constant yet ever-changing presence. Because to us, it's bigger than banking. It's about powering communities and putting people first. It's about knowing where you came from and where you're going. That's Merrimack style. Visit us at themerrimack.com.
It's time to gather loved ones together for all the holidays' best spread. Lynn's has great prices on all your favorite Thanksgiving items, from delicious turkey with all the fixings to mashed potatoes and yummy pies. We have everything you need to create your perfect Thanksgiving dinner. Whether it's cooking the traditional meal, completely store-bought, or a combination of both, your best holiday meal starts here. Learn more and start shopping today at lynsgrocery.com. Lynn's, where delicious begins.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode. I hope your week has been going well. I just wanted to start with a quick reminder that if you're interested in joining the lifetime membership option of the British Accent Bundle, then this weekend is your last chance to do so. Go to learningbritishaccent.com/bundle to select the lifetime option and join while it's still available. Anyway, on with the show. Section 1. Now you can have the British accent of your dreams faster than you ever imagined. We're halfway through the year. You know what that means? In a blink of an eye, it will be Christmas and then New Year's Eve, and we will be welcoming in another brand new year. Have you achieved any of your 2024 New Year's resolutions yet? Was learning to speak English with an RP British accent one of them? If you started your accent journey in January, you'll be now brimming with confidence that your spoken English is clear and understandable to everyone you meet, leaving your anxiety behind when speaking with your native British English colleagues and boss as you contribute to meetings and presentations. And you'll be now enjoying deeper relationships socially as friends and acquaintances no longer struggle to understand you and now welcome you into conversations. If you're still looking to achieve these outcomes and more, then you can start making the changes right now and achieve your goal by the end of December. You can make incredible progress during this final 6 months of the year. For faster improvements, I recommend following a course so you have daily structured training. Of course, you can probably find all the information for free if you've got the time to hunt it down and collate it. But then, you may find yourself in exactly the same position this time next year. Now, if you value your time and effort, you can get both my courses at learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. And a quick reminder that this is the final week to purchase the lifetime membership option. I wish you every success. Section 2. Can you hear a difference between the pronunciation of still, steel and steel? In RP British English, steel, S-T-E-A-L, and steel, S-T-E-E-L, are homophones. So their pronunciation is the same, but they differ in both meaning and spelling. But you should hear a noticeable difference between still and steel. Still and steel. Still has a much shorter I sound. So you also hear this sound in will and drill, for example. So take a listen to this sentence. Can you now hear the difference? Do you still want me to steal the steel drum? Do you still want me to steal the steel drum? If you have difficulties distinguishing between the long and short vowel sounds, it can be helpful to practice minimal pairs. In the Ultimate RP British Accent Learning Resource, you'll find a module devoted to different minimal pairs to help you hear and learn this difference. A minimal pair is 2 words that vary by only a single sound. A popular minimal pair I'm often recommending is the f and v sounds of fan, van, fan, van. Some speakers really struggle to pronounce the difference between these two sounds, and minimal pairs really helps them develop that muscle memory to improve their pronunciation. Now you can get the ultimate RP British accent learning resource as part of my British accent bundle. Details in the show notes. Section 3. Do you listen to the podcast? Well, I'm assuming if you're here, you are. Now, I don't know whether you're listening to it on your podcast catcher or on my website, but did you know Google has closed down its podcast app a few days ago? So if you use this app to listen to this podcast and others, you'll need to find an alternative. There are several options out there. Spotify and Apple are the obvious examples. However, you can also catch up with my podcast episodes on my website here, learningbritish-accent-podcast. Link in the show notes. Section 4. Get up to speed on phrasal verbs with up. The phrasal verb up is a very common and versatile verb in English, and it can be used in a variety of different contexts. In this section, I'll briefly explore how to use up, provide some examples of its use, and offer some pronunciation tips for RP British English. So how can we use the phrasal verb up? Well, I've got 5 different ways that I'm going to tell you. Up is a preposition that is used to indicate movement or direction, typically towards a higher position or level. It's often used with verbs of movement, such as walk, run, climb, and fly. It's the more literal meaning of the word, and is essentially the opposite of down. For example, I'm going to walk up the hill. She's running up the stairs. He's climbing up the ladder. The plane flew up into the sky. Up can also be used to indicate an increase or improvement in something. So, for example, prices are going up. The weather eventually brightened up by the weekend. His spirits cheered up since he got some good news. Up can also be used to indicate completion or finality. So, for example, I'm all packed up and ready to go. He's cleaned up the kitchen and can relax. Eat up before your food gets cold. Now, another meaning of up is to divide or split. So, for example, Ruby felt sad after she broke up with her boyfriend. My dog ripped up my homework. Up can also be used to mean stop. So here's some examples. It's so difficult to learn the guitar, I'm tempted to give up. If you own up, you stop keeping a secret and admit the truth. So I'll put a link to an audio file of these sentences in the show notes. So this section should have given you an indication of how to correctly pronounce the word up in British English. Up is typically pronounced as a single syllable with a short similar to the sound in but or love, and the p sound is a short puff of air through the lips. Up, up. You'll come across lots of different phrasal verbs with up in everyday conversation. Although the most obvious usage of it being the opposite of down, it's worth remembering and learning the other different ways it appears, so you can recognise and introduce it into your own conversations. So I hope you don't get up to mischief today. Section 5. So in the last section, I gave you some examples of using the phrasal verb using up. In this section, let's test your knowledge with a short quiz. I'll put the link to the full quiz on the show notes, But let's do a couple of questions now. Question 1. Which verb means to stop raining? Is it let up, give up, hold up, make up? Which verb means to stop raining? Let up, give up, hold up, make up? I would say the first one, let up. In which sentence does up mean to appear? Sentence 1. After the conversation, we hung up. Sentence 2. Henry brought up a new idea in the meeting. Sentence 3. When I sit up straight, I have more energy. Sentence 4. John showed up at the party around 10 p.m. So which sentence does up mean to appear? After the conversation, we hung up. Henry brought up a new idea in the meeting. When I sit up straight, I have more energy. John showed up at the party around 10 p.m. So I would say that last one, John showed up at the party around 10 p.m, where up means to appear. Question 3. My computer has been blank. I don't know what's wrong with it. In the blank, should it be splitting up, owning up, holding up, playing up? My computer has been what? I don't know what's wrong with it. Is it splitting up, owning up, holding up, playing up? I would say my computer has been playing up. I don't know what's wrong with it. So you can access all the questions and the full quiz on the website, link in the show notes. Thanks again for listening, and don't forget, the lifetime membership option of the British Accent Bundle is closing at the end of this month, so this weekend is the last chance to purchase it. I'll put the link in the show notes so you can sign up and join. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you next week.
It's time to gather loved ones together for all the holidays' best spread. Lynn's has great prices on all your favorite Thanksgiving items, from delicious turkey with all the fixings to mashed potatoes and yummy pies. We have everything you need to create your perfect Thanksgiving dinner. Whether it's cooking the traditional meal, completely store-bought, or a combination of both, your best holiday meal starts here. Learn more and start shopping today at lynsgrocery.com. Lynn's, where delicious begins.